What I have a problem with it at this point is let's see if you can bring one to Nigeria. Let's see if you can bring it to other places that are just not giving you billions of dollars. It doesn't even have to be a pay-per-view. Bring it to we did the Beast in the East. Have you done anything? With African Americans. Like Africans back in Africa. And like there are huge wrestling fans there. I've been to Nigeria. Like I've been to other places where I'm like, yo, yeah, you go to the UK, you don't neglect the entire middle. If you saw the NXT UK poster when Triple H was like, look, we're gonna take NXT here, NXT here, NXT here, they just skipped right over Africa. Like they went all the way to like China and everything. And I'm like, what's the problem with coming to Mexico? They did everything but Africa. So me, if you're gonna branch out, you want to make it a global brand, then be very inclusive with the whole entire globe. Until
Well, let's
you know,
let's talk something that's not really necessarily wrestling, but kind of is a cultural thing, like it's going on right now outside of wrestling. There's this implication, right, that the labor of black people is only due out of like pure necessity, right? Or the hiring of black people is out of pure necessity. So like until they, which I don't understand, right? You got Omos, you got fucking Kofi, you got fucking Apollo, who are like I would say three prominent African like descendant children who can kind of attest to the situation. Like, yeah, I think it would be kind of nice if we did it over here or get
yeah,
in. And I think that with that being said,
there's clearly a bridge.
it's only gonna happen out of what we see now is just out of pure fucking continuous outcry, right? Because it's not on the forefront for them to be as generous, you know what I mean, or as
They do it for the money, and that's the thing. They're not really doing it for the inclusion, and
correct.
that's why the Saudi thing and all that. Sure, I'm happy they're getting it, and I'm gonna watch it. The match just looks like it's gonna be a banger already, just off the names in it. But I feel as when I see these things, I'm like, okay, you take this everywhere but Africa. I think that. Because and when I see the NXT poster and Triple H is pointing where they're taking NXT and all the loops go right over Africa. I'm like, okay, this is not really about inclusion. It's really about finding what makes you guys more money. And I get it. At the end of the day, it's a business. So
Well, is there my question to be there, like realistically and not cynically, but like, is there money in Africa to be made? Is there a Saudi prince, and is there African prince? I'm sorry, is there African prince that can invest and kind of bring something to kind of help bring something to the continent?
it's like this. If when it comes to Africa, even with the NFL, I see this too. It takes an African to say, "Hey, come over here." OC Iminiora is doing his own camps in Nigeria to then take the people from Nigeria to the UK at the NFL camp in UK, and then they get a shot. So like we got to do it ourselves when it comes to like just Black Americans. It's always like it comes down to that. When it comes to Black people in this world, it's like we got to figure out how to find a way ourselves, or you know
Or
invite
circumvent the rules that's
respect the
already.
rules. Because I look at the world like this: everybody has a boss. Everybody has a boss in a sense, but when it comes down to feeling like you're valued or as as an entity of the whole it's important, especially in America with the history of this country. It's like there's always that question of like, what if they are just doing this because I'm not because we're Black and we're not getting our just due. So it's a thing where I go back and forth with it. But when I see the business being done with Saudi Arabia, and it's all about the money, and it's like, all right, I guess it is what it is. This is what I'm consuming. I got to respect what they do. Now when we talk about wrestling and building a company from scratch that doesn't that can like go to Africa and all these places and get what we want from wrestling, it's a task that takes a lifelong commitment. A sense. We'll take people to say, what, I'm not asking anymore. I'm gonna just start creating, and it takes a commitment that you might not see. You might not live to see the end of that come to fruition. In that
Well,
path.
my thing, did that happen in Saudi, or did somebody come along and be like that? The entertainment brings value, right? Or and vice versa, right?
Okay.
Because just like we say, people went not necessarily like so we say it's a billion people in India, right? Like there's statistics that got to be like, yeah, it's a billion people in Africa, but at the same time, they're like, okay, what portion of that money, or and this again cynically, what portion of that population is able to actually, like you say, because if I do bring an event, like somebody has to pay to come to those events. Right now, we got to come there and like give free seats out too. You know what I mean? Like there is gonna have to be some type of like, you know what I mean? And that's why I'm asking you,
I
is there?
definitely think that, trust me, there's not like, I don't know what people think about Africa. Like,
No,
there's not like,
I know
no,
there's
no, not
money
you,
there.
not you. No, like there's money like there, and honestly, they love wrestling. Like they love that shit. So like, when I was
So
there,
is it going to take a prince there? Is it going to take money there to kind of bridge there? Is
only
that
only
what
Vince
I'm saying?
can answer that question. Honestly, is if it probably will from his point of view. It seems like that's what he's motivated by.